Batman, Eren Yeager, and Harry Potter. What do these people all have in common? They all have plot armor. They get put into a situation where there's basically no chance that they could realistically ever come up on top. And they do every single time, right? And just a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Dricus du Plessis. He's going to beat Chimaev by plot armor. And his plot armor ran out. There is no more plot armor for Dricus, but that doesn't mean there isn't plot armor for other fighters in the UFC. So Tony Has Died, will be breaking down the top 10 UFC fighters that have plot armor. Now, when I talk about plot armor, I'm sure you'll watch the video and you'll understand what I'm talking about because you have a brain, right? But what I mean by plot armor is like the odds are stacked against them. Then there's no possible way that they should be winning or have done what they've done, but they do. And that's what the list is. So let's get into it, starting with number 10 on my list. Now, if I made this video like 6 months ago, this guy would be number 1 on my list, bro. Because Alex Pereira has somehow sped run his way into the top 15 fighters of all time. When we talk about Alex Pereira, he has had about 10 fights in the UFC, if I'm thinking correctly. And in those 10 fights, he has become a 2-weight champion and has defended his belt multiple times in 10 fights. And when we talk about the straight up legacy of Alex Pereira, he'll go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. So what do I mean by Alex Pereira having plot armor? So for instance, when he fought Sean Strickland had the perfect ability to go grapple him, and he didn't. And he knocked Sean Strickland out. Then he fights Adesanya. Adesanya is a multiple-time UFC champion. He's been in the UFC for so long. He should easily defeat Pereira. Pereira knocks out Adesanya in the 5th round. Fucking some fairy tale bullshit, right? Then he gets knocked out by Izzy, right? But then he moves up to light heavyweight. Jan Blachowicz tries to grapple him. Doesn't work. Then he beats Yuri by fucking mysticism. And then he beats Jamal Hill. And these are all people that are champions in the UFC. And then he beats Yuri again. And then he beats Khalil Rountree. And it's like, how is this guy doing this at the age that he's doing it? How has he developed anti-grappling skill this quickly? And not only that, will he get the belt back? Because this guy, before he lost to Ankalaev, I would have said this guy has the most plot armor out of anybody in the entire sport. But he lost to Ankalaev. Granted, it was a close fight. Can he win the fucking rematch, bro? And if he can, bro, I will say that he has more plot armor than Dricus had if he can get the belt back from Ank. So, yeah, he's number 10 on my list. At number 9 on my list, I got Merab Dvalishvili. Now, why do I have Merab on this list? It's because I think every single fight that Merab has entered, he's entered as an underdog. And the reason that he's entered as an underdog is because when you actually watch Merab, it looks like he doesn't have that much technical ability, bro. Like, he doesn't get takedowns. He doesn't really stay on top of his opponent that long. He has like one finish in his last 10 fights. Granted, it was his last fight, and that's why I have him a bit lower on my list. But when you look at Merab, you're just like, all right, what are you actually really good at? And what Merab is really good at is setting his pace on his enemy. And you watch his first 2 fights in the UFC, and it seems like Merab has no ability to have a gas tank at all. Like, he's literally getting tired. Like, he's a human being in those first 2 fights. And then from that point forward, he's just magically got the best cardio in the history of the UFC. It's like, how you're playing fucking Elden Ring, right? And you'll drink one of the fucking, you'll drink your flasks before you go fight the boss, and it powers you up, right? This is what Merab does, bro. And somehow, he, Sean O'Malley, he's supposed to be able to knock out anyone. Merab got dropped in his last couple of by his last couple opponents. Fucking, O'Malley can't find the shot. Umar, he's supposed to be able to be a better grappler than Merab. Merab somehow tires out Umar. Anytime that this guy gets into a fucking fight, people are always picking against him, including myself. And he's just proven time and time again that he has plot armor, bro. That he can't be beaten. And he is now the GOAT of this division. So, yeah, man. You got to have Merab on your plot armor list, right? At number 8 on my list, I got Reinier de Ridder. And the reason I say Reinier de Ridder has plot armor is, I know there's the meme around him. He is a really good grappler. But when this guy is on the feet, he literally looks like a fish out of water. And, dude, it's not just the fact that he looks untechnical in a lot of these moments of his fight, especially on the feet. It's the fact that, 5 fights ago, he wasn't even in the UFC. And now he's fighting for a number 1 contender fight. This is like some storybook bullshit, bro. This is like some shit. It's like some fucking Netflix executive was like, all right, bro, and now the new guy's going to come in from the other promotion and he's just going to start killing everybody. You know what I mean, bro? This just doesn't seem fucking realistic. Yet here it is happening, bro. Yet here is Reinier de Ridder now fighting Fluffy for what we most likely think will fight the winner, will fight the fucking champ, Khamzat Chimaev, right? And so this is the point I'm trying to make. Is despite his lack of striking, he's only been in the UFC for a year. He's already gotten to the top 5 of the division. He's already in a number 1 contender fight. He's doing some Alex Pereira bullshit. And nobody even realizes yet that this guy is doing the Alex Pereira. It's just kind of insane what Reinier de Ridder has been able to do in the span that he's been in the UFC. And it's here's the other thing. His fucking debut against GM3, he did not look good, bro. He got dropped by GM3. He had some fight. It was a very close fight with GM3, right? And now he just defeated Robert Whittaker, who's one of the best UFC fighters of all time. So it's where is this dude getting his ability from? I say plot armor, all right? He has to have plot armor, bro. So yeah, I got Reinier de Ridder at number 8 on my list, right? At number 7 on my list, I got Ian Ferry. Hey, I'm going to be the fucking champion one. Look, fucking Ian Garry, bro. This guy, I'm telling you right now, he has plot armor. Why do I say Ian Garry has plot armor? It's because every single one of his fights, he is barely scraping by, bro. He is winning barely every single time, bro. And you look at every single time that Ian Garry has fought someone in the rankings, apart from Neil Magny. You got the Jeff Neal fight, which was it could have gone, it was a split decision. He barely scraped by Jeff Neal. Then he fights MVP. He gets pieced up on the feet by MVP, and he barely scrapes by in the MVP fight. Gets the takedowns. Honestly, there's an argument that MVP won that fight off of damage. The Carlos Prates fight almost gets finished at the end, but survives. So the Song Kanan fight, he got dropped, and then he gets the fucking finish in the 3rd round. This guy has plot armor, bro. Because it seems like he's about to get defeated in all of his fights. And then he fucking somehow pulls it out. Whether that be on the judges' scorecards or with a finish or whatever. But even in the fight with Shavkat, yeah, he was on his way to losing a clear decision against Shavkat, and then he almost choked Shavkat out. Obviously, my boy Shavkat still got it done, so who's even counting, right? But it kind of goes to the point where people started, Ian Garry, before he took the Shavkat fight, I think he's still very unlikable, right? But before that, he was just getting ridiculed constantly. There was no end to the hatred for Ian Garry. But after that Shavkat fight, where he put up a pretty good performance, people started to respect him. And they're like, oh yeah. So I guess he got something out of the Shavkat fight. But yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that Ian Garry, he just somehow always scrapes by. He's like a fucking cockroach. And he just fucking cockroaches his way to a victory every time. So yeah, I got Ian Garry at number 7 on my list. At number 6 on my list. At number 6, I got Aljamain Zahabo. Amin Zahabo. We got big old Zahabo over here. Now, why do I say Amin Zahabi has plot armor, right? If you took Amin Zahabi on a normal, like if you just saw Amin Zahabi on the street and you were just like a normal guy, you would have no idea he's a street fighter. I mean, this guy, he's literally just a clone of Ariel Helwani. So like, athletically speaking, he's just a normal fucking person, okay? And ever since he came back to the UFC in 2021, it just seemed like, how does he keep winning, bro? Like, how does he keep winning? So, like, the Jose Aldo fight, which was his last fight, it's fucking Amin Zahabi, bro. Like, this guy was only famous because his fucking brother coached GSP. So it's like, you got the greatest coach of all time. You got the, like, most mid physique. And you somehow keep just fucking winning and winning and winning. And then his last fight against Aldo got dropped. And he still survived. And he fucking won the fight in the end of the round. And then the Pedro Muniz fight was close. But, like, he just keeps having these close fights with people. And it's like he's 36 years old. And he's the prospect. Like, he's now gotten into the rankings at 36. It's like, how is this fucking guy keep winning? You know? Not to hate on Zahabi. I actually picked him to beat Aldo, but I'm just like looking at the Zahabi, and I'm like, I don't really think you do anything remarkable, and you just beat Jose Aldo, who's one of the best fighters of all time, bro. And he didn't even do the Mario Batista method that Volk and Merab and Batista did to beat Aldo. He struck with Aldo and he won. And look at him. Just fucking look at him. How did he do it? How did he fucking do it? I have no idea. So, yeah. Number 6, I got Amin Zahabi. At number 5, it's time to rant, bro. It's time to go on a legendary rant about the man known as Khalil Rountree Jr. I swear to God, I have no idea how Khalil Rountree Jr. is the top 5 light heavyweight in the world, bro. How? Please, somebody tell me how. Like, you look at Khalil Rountree's record, right? This guy, he's 15-6 in the UFC, right? But if you look a little deeper into it, bro, he has a no contest to Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, which he lost because Mikhail fucking popped his steroids, right? But he still lost that fight regardless. And then he has a robbery win over Dustin Jacoby, where Jacoby clearly won the fucking fight, bro. All right? And so you look at the fucking record of Khalil Rountree after you realize that, okay, he's actually 14-8. He's not 15-6. And then he's not actually, 5-6 in his last fights. He's like 5-1. He's 4-2. And he somehow got a fucking title shot against Alex Pereira after beating Anthony Smith. He got a title shot against Alex. Let me repeat that in case you didn't hear it. For those in the fucking back. He got a title shot against Alex Pereira for beating Anthony Smith. And he did good in the fight. This guy went from losing to Dustin Jacoby in a kickboxing match to dropping Alex Pereira. Obviously, he fucking got knocked the fuck out, but now he just like started getting the respect, like, oh my God, plus 10,000 respect aura for Khalil Rountree. And it's like, how is this a fucking, like, how are you getting these privileges, bro? Like, I just don't understand. Like, this guy lost to Prashnil. He lost to Kutalaba. He got fucking knocked out by Johnny Walker. He got schooled by Oleksiejczuk. This dude lost to fucking Tyson Pedro. He lost to Tyson Pedro. Do you know who that is? He's terrible. And now he's in the top 5 of fucking light heavyweight somehow. He's like a midget. He's in a fucking, like, I don't understand. And people forget he popped for steroids. I know it was like some very obscure substance, but it's still sketchy that he's taking it. And he just gets a title shot right after he pops too, bro. Like, how is Khalil Rountree in the top 5, and how is he probably in another title elimination bout against Yuri next? You know? Like how, like, he just gets lucky too, bro. Like, he gets this version of Jamal Hill who's not fucking good anymore. He gets Anthony Smith, and somehow he gets the fucking close fight with Pereira, and that counts for shit. Like, dude, he was ranked 14 or 13, and he got a shot against Pereira. So, yeah, bro, I think Khalil Rountree has fucking plot armor, bro. Anyways, let's move on to the next person on this list, who is... Nobody talks about it, lad. I got fucking plot armor. Paddy Pimblett has plot armor. I'm 100% convinced of this, bro. It's not just Dana White privilege, bro, because Dana White privilege only goes so far. It can only take you... It can only take you to the edge, bro. It can only take you right there. You still have to be skilled, right? But for Paddy Pimblett, bro, he just keeps, like, somehow winning. And he just keeps getting fed unks as well. And so let's go back in order. Michael Chandler fight, right? Michael Chandler in his last fight, he got destroyed by Oliveira, right? But he even dropped Oliveira in that 5th round. He had a couple of moments, I guess. Not really. But then you go back further than that. Michael Chandler has a close fight with Poirier. He has a close fight with Gaethje. Has a, drops Oliveira in their first fight. Knocks out Tony. Knocks out Hooker. Michael Chandler, despite him being, like, kind of shit, he's still good. Paddy just dismantles him, bro. Completely dismantles him. Like, no attrition at all. Just completely destroys Chandler. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Then you go back another fight. Bobby Green. Completely destroys Bobby Green. Then you go back again. Tony Ferguson. Completely destroys Tony Ferguson. And let me say this. You watch the Jared Gordon fight. He does not have head movement. He does not have striking. And even in these fights that he's losing, he doesn't look like he's doing anything that's, like, insane. Like, he doesn't have... Like, he has good judo. He has good takedowns, I guess. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has good top control. But it's not great. It's not insane. But somehow he's gotten into the top 10 of lightweight, which is probably one of the most stacked divisions. So, and now he's one fight away from the title as well. He got into the fucking cage with Ilia somehow. And so, yeah, I'm convinced Paddy has plot armor. We gotta talk about it, lad. We gotta talk about you fucking sausage. I should be number 1 on the list. No, Paddy, you're lower, bro. You gotta be at number 4, but all right. But Paddy, he has plot armor, bro. He just keeps somehow winning these fights, and he's probably going to get another Buttercup matchup next. So, yeah, man. Number 4, Paddy Pimblett. And number 3 on this list, I got Aljamain Sterling. Dude, it happened again this weekend when he fought Brian Ortega. It seems like somehow Aljamain Sterling opponents just lose all brain cell. Like, I don't know if you've ever... what's the best way to describe this? He uses, like, a fucking Jedi force technique on them before they enter the cage. It says, you are going to be retarded. You're going to not know how to fight anymore. You're going to fail your weight cut. You're going to break your arm. You're going to knee me in the face. Like, all of these incidences just keep happening to Aljo magically. Like, how does Aljo just get his opponents to turn themselves into the weakest versions of themselves every single time he fights them? Because, even if you think that Corey Sandhagen got robbed in the Dillashaw fight, Dillashaw still looked like a good version of himself, right? Somehow he enters the Aljamain Sterling fight and he tore his arm and he fought TJ with one arm. Then he fights Ortega. Ortega, he looked bad against Lopez, right? But he still looked good against Yair because he finished Yair. Fucking Aljo gets Ortega to mess up the weight cut, and then they got a fight at 153, and Aljo somehow gets the W on the fucking feet against Ortega. He barely even has to shoot takedowns in the fight. He fights Peter Yan the first time. Peter Yan knees him in the face illegally, and they just give him the belt. Henry Cejudo fight, it was so razor close it could have gone either way. They give it to Aljo. This Yan fight, so razor close it could have gone either way. They give it to Aljo. Aljo has fucking plot armor, and the UFC hates him because he's not as entertaining as they'd like him to be. He just has fucking plot armor, and there's nothing that fucking Dana can do about it. They just anytime they give someone Aljo in a high-level fight, they just go and fuck themselves right before. So, Yeah, you got to have Aljo on this list at number 3. And number 2 on this list. Shit, I made a mistake. Okay, I use the same slideshow on all of my fucking videos, so I'm just going to delete this real quick, and we're going to go to number 2. Number 2 is not Daniel Marcos. It is Rinat Fakhretdinov. Rinat Fakhretdinov, I did not mean to put Daniel Marcos. Rinat Fakhretdinov has crazy plot armor. Why? It's because this guy either gets the easiest, like, all right, I'll use this for example. Brian Battle. Despite us knowing that Brian Battle is like bad at weight cutting now and like unprofessional, he was still only had one loss in the UFC, and his one loss was to Rinat Fakhretdinov. And he destroyed Brian Battle and made him look like a fool. But somehow in the next couple of fights, Brian Battle, he ends up beating Randy Brown. I know it's a close fight, but he still is like he gets ranked at some point, right? Then he gets Kevin Lee, who, let's be honest, wasn't a good version of Kevin Lee. But since this point, he is now on a 3-fight robbery streak. A fight against Aleksei Ozelenski, whatever his name is, EDZS or whatever. There's no way he won that fight, bro. Then he has a fight against Nicholas Dalby. There is no way he beat Nicholas Dalby. And then even the clearest one was he has a fight against Carlos Leal, who we have discovered got knocked the fuck out by, what's the guy's name? Muslim Salikov, who's 42. Good job, Carlos Leal. You just got close to the rankings in your debut, and then you just get knocked out by Muslim Salikov somehow. But he loses the Muslim Salikov clearly. I don't think there was anybody saying that Carlos Leal, that Rinat Fakhretdinov should have got this fucking fight. And he somehow gets the fucking W against Carlos Leal. So I gotta have Rinat Fakhretdinov on here. Just because he's on a fucking 3-fight robbery streak, bro. And that in and of itself is impressive as fuck. So winning 3 robberies in a row, you need to be mentioned on this list, all right? And number 1 on my list, who else? Who else has the most plot armor besides the fucking chosen one, Ilia Topuria, who has somehow magically like weaseled himself into the top 10 fighters of all time. He just knocks out the greatest fighters of all time, and he makes it look easy, bro. Like the Oliveira fight. Nobody has ever done Oliveira like that. It's plot armor, bro. He just has fucking plot armor. Nobody has ever slept Oliveira out cold like that bad, bro. Then, Holloway. Holloway had never been dropped in the history of the entire UFC. He fights Ilia Topuria and he knocks him out. How, bro? Plot armor. And then he fights Volkanovski, who, granted, is coming off a couple of losses, but we can still see, because Volk beat Lopez, he's a good version of himself. Loses to Topuria. How did he lose, bro? Because Topuria has plot armor. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, this guy just hits people and they go out, and it just seems like magic, because I just don't, like, he's just so technical in the striking. He has ground. He has just every single ability just given to him. Like, he's the fucking main character of this shit or something, bro. And he acts like he's the main character of this shit, too. So, yeah, man, I gotta have Ilia Topuria at number 1. But who has the most plot armor? It's just, somehow, he just weasels himself into getting the fucking, the hardest fight ever gets put in front of him, and he knocks him out every single time. So, yeah, that will do it for the list. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.